We've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Just a yard to go here on second down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. Draw play. It's Eckler. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Herbert. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7. Out of the gun, Herbert. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
So when you saw him dump it off to the back, did you think he was going to pick up the first down there?
Well, I knew one thing. It wasn't his primary target. At least it didn't look like it. Turned out to be the play they needed, though. And it's big because it's the opening drive. So converting that third down, keeping the play, not the play, the drive going.
Yeah, it certainly appeared like his downfield targets were covered. Threw a little dump off to his back. And nice effort picking up the first down, though. And you're right. That opening drive, keep those chains moving.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Again, Herbert. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Montez Sweat drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up fourth down. And Badgley missed it. Off to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Got a man, it's De'Ami Brown, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Back to throw, Franklin. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back. He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty. It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. A handoff for Gibson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them. It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. We're scoreless after 1. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Touchdown, Washington. Darren Waller, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Charger drive about to get going. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Forced out to his left. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Escaping the pressure right. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
On the give, this is Eckler. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Here's Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. 4th down and on his tie long to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. On 1st down, Franklin. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
And here's a give to Gibson.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
They'll run with Gibson.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
57 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. First carry for James Conner. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
James Conner,
his first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Charger drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And complete right side to Cook. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
On 1st down, it's Herbert. This is swung out to Eckler.
That catch good for only a couple.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Dancing to his left. And I think the ball's out.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Franklin.
He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
This one left side caught by Gibson.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll make it 2nd down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Gay's kick is good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. He was solid on the field goal, but not as solid on the kickoff there, and that'll put him at the 40-yard line to start this drive. Throwing on first down. Franklin eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Third and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. Looking to throw. Franklin. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
This is taken at the 23. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Herbert. That'll be complete to Cook. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They go jet sweep here with Williams. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
On second down, Eckler. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
On the screen, this is Eckler. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Touchdown! Donald Parham from 6 yards away. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
This taken in at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field. Have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
On third down, here's Gibson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a fourth down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And Gay knocks this one through, and that will get the lead up to 14.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
The Charger drive about to get going. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 25 on second down, Herbert. And this is Cook with a grab. And powering through at the 35. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And that's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Herbert jet sweep as he taps it forward. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2nd and 14. Herbert back to the air. Going deep here for Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The fourth down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Derwin James with a pick. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Flushed out right. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And the Chargers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. A handoff, it's Eckler. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
Gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
103 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Now Gibson.
Room here to run. 20. Big play there.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. On 3rd down, Franklin. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin.
Touchdown, Washington.
Terry McLaurin, an 11-yard touchdown.
And Washington going to add on to their lead.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter This would be their third straight defeat.
Going back to Allen. He's got him again.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws. Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chargers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick.
And this will be recovered by Washington, and that should just about do it.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game.